We're 30% throughout the start of this year right now. 99% of you guys watching right now have not even achieved half of what you set out to do.
You're not stuck, you're distracted.
Reason why you're not succeeding.
Stay disciplined and don't allow yourself to be distracted.
Look at the first 5 people that you talk to weekly.
And I almost lost my mind. A lot of Jeremiahs, man.
Welcome back, baby, to the best show on YouTube, the Unplug Podcast.
And we are here with episode 24. Let's go.
Let's go, let's go. Guys, if you are joining us for the first time, we are here for those who want to unplug from the matrix and live life on their own terms.
We are here for the entrepreneurs, the dreamers, the rebels.
Tell them again.
Those people who know there's more to than just fitting into life. We're not about just fitting in, guys.
No, sir.
We're going to live life on our own terms.
There we go, there we go.
That's what we do.
Let's do it, baby. But getting straight into it, you guys really, really like that Would You Rather?
They loved it.
They loved it.
They loved it.
As a matter of fact, JP's gonna bless some of you guys who commented.
I'm going to bless some of you guys. So we had a Would You Rather. What was a Would You Rather again?
Would you rather, in summary, would you rather live the first 40 years of your life either in absolute stinking poor poverty, or would you and then live the next sort of 40 years in absolute wealth, right? And the majority, well, we're going to find out what the majority was.
Yeah, so I felt it'd be quite nice to, it's great to see people engaging, interacting, getting involved. We love that. That's what we're all about. But I just thought it'd be quite nice to read out a few comments.
Here we go.
Some of them were very insightful, funny. We had one from Nebi Properties Underwear.
Yes.
Underway.
Okay,
cool. Shout out. And he said 1 to 40 poverty and then 40 to 80 wealthy. I was like, okay, cool.
Fair enough.
I want to shout out c.crystal.clear.
Yeah.
They said, think a majority of us be doing this in real life.
That was. Literally.
And then the last one I'm going to shout is Trek Pimento _ the personality of growing up poor to becoming rich will be better than the personality of growing up rich to becoming poor.
I agree.
I like that. I like that. So guys, thank you for your comments. We really appreciate it.
Always.
Keep commenting, keep liking, keep sharing, keep subscribing. And yeah, let's go. What you got for us this week, man?
So this week, I got a slightly different one, right? So would you rather be in jail for 5 years or be in a coma for a decade?
Oh, wow.
Because obviously, when you're in a coma, that life is you just wake up 10 years later.
Yeah.
When you're in jail, you're feeling that 5 years, but you're also out of touch with society at the same time. So
I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna keep it honest.
Yeah.
I've been to jail
for
24 hours, and I almost lost my mind. So the thought of staying there for 5 years. Yeah, if I'm in a coma, I'm asleep as far as I'm concerned. And
but let's throw some curveballs in there. But obviously, you are as you are right now. So for the next 10 years, your business, your kids, your family, you're just gonna wake up and your 11-year-old is now gonna be 20.
Yeah. What type of prison is it? What category am I? Who am I with? Do I get home visits on the weekends?
No, it's just standard full-time prison.
Lockdown business.
Lockdown, standard. You might get the one visit every quarter. But you ain't in there for no heinous acts, let's say. Right? So you're not murdering anyone.
I don't know. I think everyone's going to have to miss me for 10 years.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm telling you, that place there.
Yeah.
Nah. When them slammer doors close and you're in a 4x4 with a next man and a bunk bed. No, I think I'd have to go missing for 10 years. Absence makes the heart grow fond. Everyone will miss me for an extra 5, innit?
You're back.
So, I think I might have to just take my well-deserved rest in my coma and then wake up afterwards. What about you?
I don't know.
I'm only saying that because that's when I went.
Yeah, you've been.
Yeah,
that makes
do you know what I mean?
I feel like for me, I'd probably on the same wavelength if I'd been, or I'd have more of a personal relationship with that. I'd probably say prison, even though I know it's mad. It's unbearable. But I'm just trying to still take it on a positive. Maybe I could get super fit, do my personal development. I could read loads of books. I could learn, because I just feel like at the rate at which society is moving right now, like just think about from now to 10 years ago, I don't think we had Uber, Airbnb, Deliveroo, right? I know I'm just thinking about fast food and luxuries right now. You know what I mean? The standard, but I'm thinking like, imagine that, like we might have flying cars. Mm-hmm. You just wake up like there's no longer contactless. Like you're just literally just going with your wrist at the POS. Like life can just change, and it might be just too overwhelming for you to keep up. That's just my thing.
Yeah, but I feel like that's the same for prison. When you go to prison, you do kind of miss out on what's going on.
Yeah, but you read the papers, there's the radio. Like I said, you got your quarterly visits.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know there's flying cars now? No way. You know, as opposed to you literally just waking up. You're not even in a hospital, you're in a pod. You just wake up in a pod now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just feel like the advancement of like the human race in 10 years is going to be crazy.
Yeah, it'd be mental.
You know what I mean?
I think I'm just more thinking of the environment.
Yeah, like it's not a conducive environment.
The people I'm around.
Yeah.
I feel like if I'm asleep or in a coma, I don't get to miss anyone.
No.
Whereas when I'm in jail, I'm missing people.
Yeah, literally. And that's on your thoughts.
Yes.
That's on your thoughts.
Constantly.
And your mental as well, actually.
Daily, bro.
Your mental will be seriously affected.
Yeah, my mental, bro, was in pieces. So I was for 5 years doing that. Nah. No. Sorry, guys. You're going to have to miss me for 10 years. I have to get a new co-host.
But guys, please, let us know in the comments. Would you rather go to prison for 5 years or be in a coma for a decade? Let us know, please, please, please. Cool. But getting straight into it, this episode is a bit of a punchy one. It's a bit of a hard-hitting one that's just going to get straight to it. And the title of it is The Reason Why You're Not Succeeding, right? We're 30% throughout the start of this year right now. Mm-hmm. And 99% of you guys watching right now have not even achieved half of what you set out to do, right? And in today's episode, we want to debunk, we want to support, and give you guys some practical advice to make sure by the end of this year, in 2025, you've actually achieved something or the majority of what you set out to achieve.
And guys, I just want to say, we're not here to shame you. We're just here to give you the tools so you can flip the script and get your life back on track where you need to be for 2025. Like Freeman said, we are in April now, 4 months deep, and there's people still looking at their 2025 goal thinking, sugar, I've not done anything on here.
Literally.
But there's still time, guys. We still got 8 months left.
Yeah.
Let's end the year strong and push through.
Let's go. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So more so personally, I feel like a lot of you guys resonate with us when we sort of share like our personal experience. And for me personally, a period in my life, and I've talked about this already in the pod, a period in my life where I just felt like I wasn't showing or seeing any success in my life was when I had my first like life mentor. I've had many mentors, business mentors, but when I had my first like personal life mentor, and that just changed my perspective of like I was living in this bubble of like perfection. I had a delusion. I was delulu. That's just, you know what I mean? Where I just felt like, yeah, everything was great. I had my business, I bought my house, etc., but I wasn't really truly hitting any of my personal life goals. Like I said, obviously, you can watch the episode again about role models and whatnot. But again, it's massively showing how a lack of clarity and a lack of guidance, and we'll speak more about this later on the pod, but massively can shift you into thinking you are successful, or I'm on this track of being successful, and it's not the case at all. So I think that was sort of like the earliest sort of concepts or the early sort of battle I had with not feeling somewhat successful. What about you?
I think for me, just mine more came from a change of environment. I feel like we spoke about on previous episodes, you are the company you keep. So you have to choose your circle wisely. Episode 8, if you haven't watched it, go and watch it. And I just feel, if you're around a certain type of people and people are living a certain type of way, you kind of naturally, I suppose, live your life like that as well. And I just feel, looking back now, I had to kind of change my group of friends, my circle. And the minute I did do that, I started to see, a different level of progress. I started surrounding myself with people who, were going in the same direction that I was. And I think, just looking back, the biggest turning point was coming out of certain friendship groups, environments, and even just spend a lot of time by myself to just reflect. And I've spoken about this before. A lot of us don't do enough reflecting when we look at our life and think, okay, this is where we were a year ago. This is where we are now. Where are we trying to go? So a lot of reflection and just changing environments and friends.
No, I like that. I definitely, like it's said in a multitude of ways, in a multitude of times as well. Like, you know, your environment are a reflection of who you are, right? So, we'll get into that as well. But I think personally as well, guys, you know, sort of looking into sort of aspects of your life where you said you was going to do something, you didn't say, and you didn't end up doing it. Like, what are sort of the fundamental reasons why? You know, like John said, I feel like a massive thing is actually reflecting and looking back as like, what were my circles? What were my environments? What was I eating? What was I doing? What was I looking? What was I reading? You know, what were you consuming? Right? Because, you know, what you put in is what you get out.
100%.
You know?
100%.
And getting straight into it right now, in terms of some of the common root issues right now, I feel like a big part of that is a lack of clarity, right? And just sort of keeping it real, most people haven't failed. They just don't have specific goals.
Don't even set their goals.
Haven't even set the goals. And then just going back even onto one of, I think it's like episode 4 about goal setting and planning. I feel like that is a massive pathway to your success, right? Like, as we both know, we train, we coach, and we mentor people. And one of the first questions I ask to any of my mentees that I work with, I say, what are your goals? I can't help you if you don't even know where you want me to guide you to.
100%.
Right? I can't tell you where you should go and what you should, my job is to advise based off what you tell me you can and can't do, right? So the first questions are like, what are your goals? What do they look like? Let's put a specific number to them. Let's manifest them and let's work towards them, right? You know, they say, shoot for the stars and land on the clouds.
Land on the moon.
You know, wherever the hell it is. Like, but I think that's a big part. And even for myself personally as well, like, there was always, you know, I want to make £10,000 a month. But why? Like, why? It just sounds sexy. Like, why? Like, let's question things more.
Yeah, let's gain some clarity.
Let's gain some actual clarity.
Like,
why do you need like maybe 15,000 is what you need? But like, now I know the reason why I need 15K. Or it's 10K just because it's a nice round number and it sounds like a sexy amount to say out loud. So I think having some clarity in your goals is massively important, right? And it will allow you to sort of shape the path and the plan that you need to have.
And I just want to add that I think a lot of people like confuse movement with progress. So a lot of people are running around just being busy. You know what? Busy doesn't equal productivity.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I think when you get clear on where you're going, you now are like, every action you take, there's a reason behind it, as opposed to just doing things for the sake of it. So yeah, guys, very, very important. Gain that clarity, you know, have that vision. I've said it before, I feel like having the goals and the vision and the clarity is like your North Star. Whenever you get lost, it gives you some type of direction. And goals give you that direction. Otherwise, if you're just getting up every day and you got nothing you're working towards, your day, you're easily distracted because there's nothing you're working towards.
Literally.
So yeah, I think that's important.
No, 100%. You know, and as they even say here, I've even got as a note, it's just like clear vision creates accountability. If you're not specific, you're not serious, right? So the more clearer your goals are, and I feel like sometimes it can feel like you're doing too much, but be granular. You know, like even like your vision boards, right? Your goal was like, oh, some people just say, okay, I wanna have a nice car. What's the make? What's the model? What's the color? What's the liter? What's the horsepower? Let's get super uber specific, right? The more uber specific you are, the more granular you are, the more specific you are with the information, the more likely you are to be able to achieve what this looks. And you can conceive it.
You can taste it.
Literally, like a big thing of what, like, if I ever got like a short-term goal I want in mind, I'll put it as my wallpaper on my phone, right? Every single time when I wake up and I look at my phone, that's my goal. That's what I want. That's what I want to achieve. I'm constantly seeing it every single. One thing that my brother used to do as well. He would in his room, like where he sleeps, he would on the ceiling in large prints say like, you are who you want to be. In massive, like he would just print it out, you are what you want to be. So every single time he went to sleep or he woke up, like, this is what you see, right? It's like having things written down and constantly them being pushed in front of you will massively re-emphasize, you know, your clarity. Yeah,
and also I read somewhere like the importance of, obviously, number one, setting goals, because goals give you that direction, but also reviewing those goals daily.
Yes.
Daily. Like when you wake up, read your goals. When you go to bed, read your goals, because you start now, your brain starts to think, all right, this is what I'm trying to work towards. This is what I'm trying to achieve. And it starts to figure out the plan. A lot of people write their goals down for the year and then forget about them. Like, if we were all to be honest with ourselves, how many of us wrote goals down on the 31st of December 2024, or even maybe the 1st of January 2025, wrote those goals down, was so excited, enthusiastic, have you looked at them since? Have you been ticking things off?
Literally.
Because if you haven't, then what are you doing?
There we go.
You know, so just guys, don't just write your goals down, review them, get to work.
110%. Right.
So I'm going to throw in there, I mentioned it before, just a toxic environment. Like a toxic environment, I think, you know, we're not all fortunate to come from great environments. You know, some of us, unfortunately, you know, maybe grew up, in not a stable home or had a rough childhood and stuff like that. And when you've gone through that, it's harder to break through. Because I always believe everything starts with the right mindset and mentality. But if you have, you know, been around maybe the wrong people or wrong family or stuff, you have to break free. It's almost like you have to go and create a new life.
Yeah, literally.
Do you know what I mean? Create your own environment. This is what I want my environment to look like. You know, I need positivity. I've been around negativity my whole life. I'm going to create a positive environment. I'm going to go and meet other positive people. I'm going to go and meet other people who want the same thing from life as me. You know, people who are uplifting and stuff like that. So
110%. And even adding to that as well, like I always say to a lot of people is you are the excuses you create, right? You saying, oh, I'm a single parent, or, you know, my dad wasn't around, or I came from a low income background. You're just allowing excuses to create yourself. Everyone has the ability to shape their own future, right? And like John just clearly and beautifully said, you can create your environment. It sounds like delusional, but it's true. It's factual. And you can create your environment by, you know, getting a new set of a network, some friends, your circle, the information you consume, what you watch, where you go, what you wear, how you speak. That all shapes your environment and who you can become and what will lead to you being successful in your path.
And I just want to say, guys, a lot of stuff we talk about, it's not easy. It's very simple.
Yeah, better said than done.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's very simple. It's not easy, but if we want to create the life that, you know, we're living life on our own terms and we loving what we're doing every day, it is possible, but we have to change the things that we're doing, because clearly the things that we're doing have got us thus far, and it's like we've hit a glass ceiling now. We need to change the things that we're doing. And like I said, the reason why your environment is important, you know, is because, and I've done this before, you're sharing goals and dreams with people and they just can't see your vision. They don't understand. And then they start doubting whether they think you can do it, just because they probably can't do it themselves.
And
I don't think
you might even start doubting yourself.
Yeah, you start doubting. I've been away. I've gone an idea like, I'm looking. Oh, you can't do that. Sorry, what? Why not? So just be careful, guys, who you're sharing your goals, your dreams with, because there are a lot of dream killers out there.
110%.
A lot of Jeremiahs, man. Do you know what I mean? So be careful, guys. Be careful. Be careful.
110%. But like now, just even sort of shifting on more so on mindset. And I know John sort of mentioned this as well. And again, watch our episode on fixed versus growth mindset. I definitely think as part of sort of shaping your path for success, your mindset definitely needs to be a growth. You can't have a fixed mindset because you're now creating ceilings for yourself. You're now capping yourself. You know, again, my favorite term, preventing yourself from being the highest version of yourself.
You're not allowing yourself to grow, even giving yourself the opportunity to grow.
Literally. So are you just being in that same sort of mindset? Oh no, I can't do that. I've got kids, I've got a family, or no, like my parents migrated here, and I need to go to university, or no. Who said that?
100%. And I just want to say that I feel like too many people believe like where they are right now is their full story. Like this is their life and this is how it needs to be for the rest of my life. You know, we know successful people who, you know, we've had people change their life at 40, 50, 60, 70. Guys, you can turn around your life at any given moment.
Literally.
You know, you can pick up that book that gives you a different perspective. You can hire that mentor that lets you believe that you can achieve whatever you want to achieve with the right mindset, discipline, perseverance. You know, you can change your life, guys. And it's important for you to not feel like this is my story. Just because I've been in that job for maybe 10 years doesn't mean now I can't branch out on my own and go and live life on my own terms. Or if your business is going through a hard time, guys, it might just mean you might need to pivot. You know, it's not your story, guys, and it can be changed at any given time. And we are living proof of that.
110%. And it doesn't need to be excellent. Like perfection masks fear, right? It's not, I always say like, no one ever hits a bullseye, you know? And again, a lot of the stuff we're saying, although it is very, very difficult to action because you need some consistency and you need discipline along with the determination, like motivation alone won't do this for you, but it's simple stuff. Like we're not trying to find a cure to cancer, you know, respectfully. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's simple stuff what we're doing, right? You just need to be at it. You need to practice and just repetitions. Do it over and over and over again, like it's eating, like it's breathing, like it's sleeping, until it becomes a habit, right? And that's it. There's nothing less, there's nothing more. And again, your mindset alone, it's what's capping you from being able to achieve this.
100%. And just guys, just to understand as well that in order for you to grow, there is going to be a level of uncertainty. Like we spoke about it briefly in the last episode, when you are coming out of your comfort zone, it's uncomfortable, feels scary, you're nervous, like I've never been here before, what do I do? But those feelings of nervousness, anxiety, like just the unknown, that's where the growth is.
100%.
You know, that's where the beauty is, in doing things, in achieving things, in working on things that we've never done, changing our mindset, changing the way we do things, you know, adopting new habits. These are the important things that we need to do to kind of push through.
100%. And even just on that, in terms of like growing as well, like comfort creates addictions, right? And within that as well, we need to understand as part of growth, as they say, there's going to be pains, growing pains. It's going to be an uncomfortable experience. You know, we might not know, like say if you've just left your job, you took that leap of faith and you've left your job, you might not know where your next paycheck is coming from. And that's part of the journey, right? That's part of the mission. That's part of the cycle. That's part of where we're going to do.
Part of growing.
It's literally, you know, like it's not going to be sweet. Like it's like, yeah, I left my job. Since I left my job, I got a 6-figure contract, and then I met Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. And yeah, everything was just hunky-dory. It doesn't work like that. That's so unrealistic.
Fortunately,
it's massively unrealistic. Like you need to expect failures. You need to expect pain. You need to expect discomfort, because this will grow you. This will shape you. This will give you the battle scars to overcome bigger and worse battles. You know, so you can win the war.
100%.
Right.
And that whole saying, you know, you are what you kind of go through. Like the life that you know, the mistakes that you make, you know, the bad decisions. It's all, life is learning. It's a learning curve. We never stop learning. And I think the minute we just stop learning, that's where we wilt, we become redundant, and we stand still. And I mentioned before, in an ever-evolving world, standing still and not growing is probably the most dangerous thing. Forget taxes and inflation and all of that. The most dangerous thing, guys, right now is not trying to evolve as the world evolves, because you will get left behind. So keep growing, guys.
100%. And just sort of like wrapping up with that one, it's like you will never meet your future self in your current comfort zone. Impossible, right? The person who you want to become hasn't been born yet. Hasn't been created yet, hasn't breathed into this life yet. They are a brand new entity, they are a brand new being that you're yet to develop. And they are born from the experiences and the struggles and the strifes that you endure on this journey of success. And that's what you need to know, right? It's not going to be born from you sitting down on your chair, you know, watching Netflix.
Binging Netflix, playing PS5.
Then once. You know what I mean? It's impossible. So once you understand the person who you want to be, the Freeman or John 2.0, 3.0, 4.5, or like, and John always says as well, you can reinvent yourself so many different times. So the version who you want to be doesn't exist yet. And understand that version comes from adversities, strifes, and struggles. And once you go through them and you live through those experiences, then your new version is birthed. And then you just make irritations and you can consistently move and adapt.
And I just want to say, guys, comfort is, you know, feels good until you realize that, yeah, you're just, it's costing you everything. Like you staying where you are, it's costing you everything, guys. So just remember that the comfort zone is not a place that you want to stay. Really, really not.
100%. But as guys, as you always know, always about practical steps.
We are indeed.
Right? So we've thought of some practical steps in this, where some of you guys who are, you know, you're currently thinking and you're currently in a process right now, or in an environment right now with like, it's not conducive. Yeah, you're all right, Freeman. I set myself 10 goals. I want to lose some weight. I'm going to go to the gym. I want to get that promotion at work so I can save up for my hair salon, or I can save up for my little side business, or whatever. It's not little. I hate that word when people say that. But I can set up for my next business or my next venture, or whatever it may be. And I'm still where I am, right? So I think the first practical step that you need to do is create an audit of your environment, right? Look at the first 5 people that you talk to weekly. What are you consuming? What are you eating? What are you doing? Right? Like I know there's some like explicit people who take this like extremely, like where like they only have like 3 or 4 contacts in their mobile phone. Like their families, their loved ones, their missus, and whoever brings them money.
Yeah, them ones. Proper audit, proper clear up business.
Proper audit, right? Like be intentional with your conversations, right? Like I bought me and John like these timers, right? I saw like Alex Omozy does like, it's like a little twisty timer, and like you twist it to the time that you want it to be, whether it be like 4 minutes, 5 minutes, whether it be a phone call, whether it be a task. You set the timer to whatever it is, you write down what it is you want to achieve, and you must do it within that time. If you do not do it in this time, you move on to the next task. If you say, all right, cool, here's my 5 minutes, I want to walk, or, you know, a mate calls you and you want to use this as like your de-stress time, set 5 minutes for this conversation. This doesn't need to be an hour conversation. This conversation that I'm having, how does it go hand in hand or in line with my goals, right? Question every single thing. Be intentional. I think that's the word I'm looking for.
100%. 100%. No, and like you said, something like that is good because it allows you to be disciplined. It trains a very important trait or habit that we both know you need to become successful, and it's discipline. It's being disciplined with your time, your most valuable asset, and just making sure, you know, you're having the right conversations, the positive conversations. How many times in the past have you sat down with people or been in a room and you just hear people just talking foolishness?
100%.
Like, how is that conducive to where I want to be and where I'm going? And that's why it's so important to know where you're going, so you don't get in the wrong conversations around the wrong people. You realize, like you just said, this is not in line with where I'm going. So why am I even talking to this person? Why am I even here right now?
Literally, and know when to go. You can't grow in a garden full of weeds, right? It's like, know when to go. If you feel like flipping out, like, this conversation is just dumb. This environment I'm in is just stupid. This doesn't align with anything that I'm doing right now. Pack your bags and go, right? You may look like an idiot. You may sound rude. You may sound impolite or abrupt, but you are your biggest goal. You are your biggest. Be selfish. It's your life. Live it on your own terms. So if it's not conducive to what you're doing, whether it be content, whether it be your environment, whether it be a conversation, wherever it is, and if it's not in alignment, again, within reason, then go, right?
Cool. My step, I'm going to look at planning. Like, I'm a big believer in planning. That whole saying, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. I truly believe, guys, the plan just gives you a map, a roadmap somewhere. It'd be like going on a holiday and you ain't planned out where you want to go. You're going to get lost along the way. But the plan gives you direction. The plan gives you focus. So we want to create one major big goal that we can kind of focus on, and then break that goal down into baby steps. Like, step 1, what is this? Step 2. Don't even think about step 3, because in the past, when I've built plans, I've started thinking about step 4, 5, and 6, and all that does is cause overwhelm. You start thinking, oh my God, I got to do that. One big goal, guys, 30-day focus. This is what I'm going to focus on for the next 30 days, and I'm just going to make sure it gets done no matter what. And that's the level of discipline that you're going to need, you know, to go to the next level.
No, I agree. Like, there's an amazing book. I can't remember what it's called now. I think it's by James Clear, like the 1%.
Atomic Habits.
Like, there's an amazing concept in the book about just 1% every day. 1% improvements. It's marginal. But when you look back over a 3, 6, 9, 12-month period, it's
it compounds. It compounds.
That's it. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah,
the compound effect is crazy, right? So I definitely think like Jay said, like, having the big goal, breaking that down into baby size, digestible tasks that you can achieve. Again, making sure that your tasks or your goals are smart, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. And then gradually you'll be able to achieve it.
Yeah, and just don't overthink it, guys. Just schedule in the time to get things done, stay disciplined, and don't allow yourself to be distracted. You know, I'm working on a big project one time, or right now rather. I know you call me like, bro, I'm like, bro, I'm locked in right now. You have to get to, I think that night, bro, I got like 3 calls, people trying to draw me out and that. Like, come out. I'm like, no, I'm locked in right now. I need to get this done because I know where I'm trying to go. I know what I need to do. And now it's locked in season, you know, and that's the level of like discipline that's kind of needed to get stuff done. And, you know, what I've realized as well, you don't need these big, massive jumps. Just small progress every day consistently, because like we said, it does compound. Like,
literally,
the project I'm working on now, I would have liked to have had it done by now, but it's not, and I've accepted it. That as long as every day something's getting ticked off, we're making progress. Don't look for them big leaps and bounds. It's not realistic. It's not sustainable.
100%. Some progress is better than no progress. And one thing that John always says, I quite like, is make tomorrow your best friend, right? I love that, and especially because me, I'm a night owl. Like if unfortunately in the nature of work I do, I have to be working during daytime. But if I could, like I'd work during the night. Like I feel like I'm personally the most optimal like during the night, or like when it's dark, like from midnight onwards, like optimal work. I feel like
Some people are like that.
Yeah, like for me personally. But with that as well, sometimes when I want to get into that mode, or maybe someone wants to draw me out of a late night move or an out, whatever it may be, I'm thinking, cool, I know I've got X and Y and Z to do tomorrow. If I want tomorrow to be my best friend, should I go? Should I not go? You know what I mean? If I could just like mimic and clone myself right now, and I was having a conversation with my tomorrow self, my Sunday to Monday self, what would that conversation look like? And likely I probably shouldn't do that, or I probably would or would not do that in line with whatever I want to do the next day.
The main thing, it just gets you questioning your actions. It's like little things. I think last week or the week before, I think I wanted to like implement that mindset. And again, things that we're talking about, they're not easy to do, but you have to practice them. And I was like, little as thing as like getting my gym stuff ready for the morning after.
Yeah.
For the next day.
Yeah.
I've like made tomorrow my best friend. I'm going to give you the best possible start on the day. So I'm going to get you ready for the day. And I woke up, my gym stuff's ready. The little as that you see it was so helpful, bro.
Crazy. And it's compounds. And like you save like, 3 to 5 minutes trying to faff around, trying to get
faff around.
And then like you might take it next level. You might start prepping your meals, right? You might start prepping your meals. You might start writing your notes or your to-do list for the night before. And all these 3 to 5 minutes that you're saving just compounds, and you're just buying back hours, right?
And I was going to say, lastly, I think that leads into another practical set of just rewiring your mind, like your mindset. I feel we've all been conditioned somewhat through, parents, family, media, TV, whatever. And it's about understanding that you are where you are because of how you think, how you behave. And if you want to change your life, you have to rewire your mind. You have to now consume things that maybe you weren't consuming before, change who you're hanging around with, change the way you see things. It is now rewiring your mind, guys, letting go of things that are no longer serving you and implementing and doing things that are going to take you to the next level.
I literally couldn't agree more. Like 110%, that rewire of the brain and of the mindset will massively support you in achieving your goals. Talk about yourself and believe in yourself like someone else does, right? You are your biggest critic. You are your biggest reason for why you're not where you need to be. So fully hold yourself accountable for your goals and for your actions, and be reasonable with yourself. Like I said, some progress is better than no progress at all. So long as we're moving the needle forward.
Yeah, and guys, just believe in yourself. Like if you can't believe in yourself, who will? I know it's hard because maybe where you are, you feel like you can't do the things that you want to do, but we are all built with skills, talents, and we can also always get better. We just have to keep working on ourselves, guys, working on ourselves and maintaining and just getting better 1% every day.
That's it, man.
There you have it.
But guys, I really, really hope that was a packed in one, but I really hope in sort of the last 30 minutes that you really, really appreciated this. And I hope out of the back of this, you can really see how you can better shape yourself, right? The 70% left of the year, that's about 240 days. So don't let the calendar beat your patterns.
And guys, will say, like, DM us and let us know what steps you're taking this year. What are your big plans? What are your big goals?
100%.
How are you getting on with those 2025 goal lists? Are you stuck? Do you need some help? Like, where are you at? And yeah, guys, we want to see the shift in you. Like, we're doing this to help people understand that they can change their life and then understand what types of things they can do to change their life, with the practical steps and things like that. So, guys, 8 months left, man. You got this.
A little challenge as well for you guys as well. Like, whatever you're planning to do this year, whether you're looking to lose weight, you're setting up your new business, you're looking to take that leap of faith and leave your job and hand in your resignation, tag us in, #Unplug25. We'll repost, we'll comment, we'll give some advice, like DM us, like we are super here to support you in achieving your goals, guys.
And I just want to say, lastly from me, guys, like, we've all got that friend that talks about they want to do this and they want to do that and they have not moved a muscle. So send this episode to them. Hopefully we'll give them a little kick up the butt.
Definitely.
Get them going and yeah.
Cool. Now, this is the part of the show, right?
Unplug.
Where we
Plug
unplug
bites.
with a bit of plug bites, a little bit of edibles for you guys, right? The healthy ones. All right. And we just give you guys a bit of a sentence or so that's really moved us. That's often a lot of the time in relation to what we've just spoken about, right? And one that really resonated with me I'll go first. It says, me speaking to the mic with this one. Hey guys, you notice that we got a new mic?
That might help. Yeah, I was gonna say, you seen the Unplug, we're stepping up, man. Unplug 2.0.
Let me know you want the merch. Highest version and that. But yeah, so this particular plug back says, the version of you that wins won't live in the routine you're tolerating. Perfect. And it goes back to what I said as well. Like, you're not going to see the next version of yourself in your current comfort zones, right? So the version where you're winning, the version where you've won, isn't at all going to be in your current climate. Understand that.
I like that.
Where you need to be, where you want to go, is not going to be found in this town that you're currently operating in. So you need to move out of town. You need to move out of the circle. You need to move out of this environment and understand that's where you're going to see your next new self. You know?
No, I like that. My one's short and sweet this week. My one is, you're not stuck, you're distracted. Because a lot of people might be feeling like, oh, I'm stuck, I don't know where to. There's enough time in the day to turn your life around, and you're clearly not using your time wisely enough. And I can only speak from experience. I feel like, it took me very later on in life to understand these things that we're talking about now. And the reason why it took me so long is because I was distracted by doing the wrong things. The wrong things, guys, will keep you stuck. And the minute you start doing the right things, you'll see progress, you'll see change. You'll see yourself getting better and better every day, guys. So you're not stuck, you're distracted. Stop being distracted by things that just don't even matter. Things that are not going to help you, things that are not going to move you forward, things that are not going to help you achieve your goals. You're not stuck, you're distracted.
No, I love that. But guys, what an episode.
Nice. 24.
Episode. I really, really like that one. Guys, please let us know your thoughts and your comments, please, as well. Let's start that challenge. I want to keep you guys accountable to making sure that you're achieving what you need to achieve, right? So please always make sure that you're liking,
sharing,
you're subscribing, tell a friend, tell your mom, tell your dad, tell his mistress.
Jeez.
And as always, guys, love, love, love.
Elevate.